Hi, welcome along to MLR Daily. Now, Sunderland, they've been relegated. It's official. Sunderland will be playing Championship football next season. Beaten yesterday 1-0, a Josh King goal, and that's the end of Sunderland. They are relegated from the Premier League, and there'll be quite a lot of fans out there saying, you know what, good riddance. Every year it seems that Sunderland seem to flirt with relegation. I'm in the camp that I really feel sorry for the Sunderland fans, but you have to say the manager, David Moyes, has got to take big responsibility for this. He had all season to get it right, and right at the start of the season he made that comment where he said that we're in a relegation fight. That was about 1 or 2 games in to the season, and all right, yeah, he was right, but that's no way to motivate your team, is it? And Sunderland, their 23rd defeat of the season. That's absolutely incredible. They failed to score for the 18th time yesterday. They've been heavily reliant on the goals from Jermaine Defoe, and those goals have dried up. Basically, teams have worked out that if you stop Jermaine Defoe, they ain't going to score no goals. And Jermaine Defoe hasn't scored a goal in the last 10 games, and that has resulted in the end of Sunderland, and really sad for the fans up there in the northeast. But Sunderland are relegated from the Premier League, official yesterday. Hull City, on the other hand, they live to fight another day. They are really showing fighting spirit. A really good point away from home, 0-0 draw with Southampton, and their goalkeeper saved a last-minute penalty. Now, that could be really significant. In stoppage time, he saved that penalty to earn a point for Hull City, and that could be massive. Crystal Palace, they're already kind of safe, but they went down yesterday to Burnley, who got their first away win of the season. They beat Crystal Palace by 2-0. Really good performance by them. And you know what? You've got to take your hat off to their manager, Sean Dyche. He's done an excellent job this season with way little, resources when compared to Sunderland, but has kept them in the division, and he's done an outstanding job. Leicester City yesterday beating West Brom by 1-0. West Brom seem to be on the beach at the moment, but Leicester City, they're on a little bit of a momentum, a little bit of a run, and the person who's really spearheading that is Jamie Vardy. He's really come to the party over the last few weeks, and another goal for him yesterday, Jamie Vardy, and Leicester winning that by 1-0. And Stoke drawing 0-0 with West Ham. Another boring draw for West Ham. There was a lot of it was a very low-scoring day yesterday, actually, in the Premier League, and featured a lot of those teams down the bottom. So if we just look at the bottom of the table, you can see there, as I said, that Sunderland on 21 points, they are down. They cannot catch Hull City now. Middlesbrough on 27, they paid today. Swansea paid today on 31, and Hull, a vital point there on 34 points. As I said, Palace, they're looking to be more or less safe there, although not completely safe there, on 38 points. I'm going into the games today. Manchester United taking on Swansea. That's a big game for both clubs. Manchester United, of course, they want to get into the Champions League. They had that draw against Manchester City the other night. And also Swansea, you know, they could really do with the points as well. You know, they're down there in that relegation battle, and they could really do with getting 3 points out of the game. It'd be really tough for them at Old Trafford. Manchester City, they've got a big game as well. They're going to be taking on Middlesbrough, another team down there right at the bottom, Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough, again, desperately in need of points if they're going to, well, they need to win this game, basically, but they're going to be up against a Man City team that's motivated to try and get in that top 4. This is what I like about this time of the season. It's all to play for, you know what I mean? Even you're playing a team at the bottom, they've got things to play for. They've got to go for it. So it should be really exciting. That should be a great game. Then there's 2 other games that are the real crunch games of the day. Everton versus Chelsea. Everton, they've only lost 1 game at home this season. Really strong at Goodison, but have been faltering in recent weeks up against a motivated Chelsea. Chelsea are playing just before Tottenham play in the North London derby, and they'll know that if they can get 3 points, it will put extreme pressure on Tottenham Hotspur to win that game. They also know if they lost that game, that will give massive motivation to Spurs going into that North London derby. So that's a vital game. And of course, the North London derby, last North London derby at the Old White Hart Lane before they move out and go to Wembley next season, Tottenham Hotspur. It's a big game. Spurs, they've got an immaculate record at White Hart Lane this season. They haven't lost a game, but they're up against Arsenal now. Arsenal, they've started to hit a little bit of form. They've won their last 3 games. They overcame Manchester City in the semi-final of the FA Cup. And of course, they'll be highly motivated to win this. Number 1, because they want to try and get in the top 4. And number 2, it's a North London derby. I mean, everybody, all the favourites are saying Spurs, but this could be a really, really tight game. We know what these North London derbies are like, and that should be a really, really excellent game. I'll be there later on. So some great games today, both for the bottom and the top of the Premier League. It should be really, really exciting. It's a bank holiday weekend over in the UK. Check us back tomorrow where we'll be taking a review of all those games.
Man like Robbie.